Thank you for choosing the Talking Through the Miraculous podcast. We are here to share stories of God and His blessings. It's that simple. Extraordinary stories of how God loves us and how miracles still happen. Hello to all my Talking Through the Miraculous people. It's July. I hope everyone had a good holiday. I'm going to do this episode all by myself today. Aaron's getting married today, actually. I think this is the release date, the 16th. So Aaron's getting married today. So everybody's running around trying to help her and make it the best day possible. Congratulations to her and her fiance, well now husband, DJ. Today we have we have 4 stories. I'm going to tell a story. I got kind of jealous last month when Robbie joined the Miraculous Club, having 3 stories. I want to be a Miraculous too, so I'm going to share another story today. Hello, this is BJ, and here is my story. Recently, I've just been kind of feeling down on myself. Things haven't been going exactly the way I planned. I was getting down on myself and found myself in a place where I was whining and complaining to people. And in doing so, I complained to one of the storytellers on this episode, Melanie. Now, Melanie definitely was a godsend for me. She basically took me aside and told me that maybe I should fast, that this walk wasn't meant to be done alone, that I needed to let go and let God. I never really thought about it. I've always been the kind of person that works before they wait, that tries to do things under my own power, and then when I find out I can't, then I go to God. This was very enlightening to me, so I decided to go on a fast. I talked to my wife and my sister, and they fasted with me. The difference was this time I was doing a no food fast. I've never done a fast with no food. I may have skipped meals or fasted social media or Netflix or something like that, but I've never did absolutely no food. We decided to fast for 3 days with no food. As we came close to those days, I began to pray because I was really scared. I didn't think I would be able to do it. I thought I would fail. The learning experience for me was that even in this fast, I had to depend on God. You never realize how much our lives revolve around food. You wake up in the morning, you think about breakfast or lunch. You're always thinking about the next meal or what you're going to have to eat when you get home. So that time spent on thinking about food, I tried to use that time to talk to God, and I talked to Him a lot. I can't say I did it every minute that I should have, but I did talk to God a lot through this time, and He just basically showed me that I need to stop stressing about things and just let Him work it out. I made it to 3 days, which was amazing for me. I never thought I could do it, but I did it with His help. And He gave me answers to my questions and let me realize that I can't do everything on my own. That's no excuse for me not to work, but I need the help. I need the Holy Spirit. I need the guidance. So basically what my miracle was my friend Melanie listening to me first, but then thinking about what I said and coming back to me with a solution. And I really feel it was a solution. I was able to regroup, take my time, talk to God, and make a better plan. So I thank God for this total experience, and I thank God for giving me my friend Melanie. Thank you, Melanie, and thank you for your story later on. Our first story is from a friend of mine, a past coworker. We've been friends for about 20 years now. We've grown together in a job, promoted together. He's just one of the main men I come to when I have issues, and we hold each other up. Here's his story. His name is Tommy.
My name is Tommy Boone. So I guess my biggest miracles would be starting in 2005. Birth of my 3 sons, my eldest, my middle son, and my youngest son. They all came around, I say at a time that I lost my parents. And usually that took a kind of hard course. And so when my oldest son was born was 2005. And that was right around the time going through transitions, and it was something that you always needed. Started being a father late in age, and I would like to say they were a blessing that came at the right time. Whatever kind of relationships that you go through, the one solid relationships that always last are the relationships with your children. If you're raising them right and they're listening to the instruction, they'll never depart from you. And not that they latch on to you, that you need them in your life every day, but just the fact that there's someone there that always needs you and that you always need them. So every day, thank God that I'm in touch and in contact with my sons on a daily basis. And that's what keeps me waking up in the morning, keeps me working every day, just to make sure that they're taken care of, raised right, and that I'm trying to set the example for them and that they can carry on when they become fathers. And so that's my three blessings, Jeremy, Tommy, and Aiden, my three sunshines.
Thank you so much, Tommy, for sharing. As you can see, his story was short and sweet. Tommy is a busy man with 3 growing boys that are soon becoming men. Thank you for taking time out of your day to share a story with me. My next story is from another coworker of mine named Tiffany. Tiffany has become a great friend over the past 5 years, and I'm sure she's going to become my boss one day.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Barnes, and I just wanted to share with you guys the struggle that I've been going through this week. This week, my car started to malfunction. Luckily, my husband knows how to fix cars. He was able to fix it. However, he forgot a seal on the oil cap, and the oil cap came off. And not only did the oil cap came off, but the thing that holds the oil cap also came off, so he lost that. What I had to do was order that part, but we couldn't figure out what the name of the part that held the oil cap was, so it took us a minute to even do that. I have another car, which is my husband's car. However, his window broke, and so the motor that holds the window or makes it go up and down stopped working. So the window was left stuck down and I couldn't drive it like that. So I had to fix that, which I did. So I was going to drive his car to work the next day. I got up to drive his car to work and discovered that his tire was flat. So I'm telling you, when things start going wrong, they start piling up, and it seems like the devil was at work. That's how I felt. I felt like, it was one thing after the next. I was pretty much starting to get stressed out because it just seemed like it was just, things going wrong back to back to back to back. So what happened was I had to bring his car back that morning, and I thank God that I have good people in my life, because I had to wake his dad up and he allowed me to use his car. So I was able to drive his car to work. When I drove his car to work, that was good. I was trying to find the name of the parts. I called my dad to see if he can help me figure out what part it was. And he did go out his way to go get me an oil cap, but it didn't come with the part that held it on. So we were thinking it was going to work, but it didn't. So that set me back also. So I had to ask my husband's dad if I can use his car another day. It is very difficult for me to have to ask for help. It's so difficult. I'm so independent, and I feel like I'm putting people out by asking for help. And I need to really get out of that, because, I've realized that God put people in your life to help you, and He puts people in your life for a reason. The whole time that I was going back and forth to the dealer to try and find the part, which we did find the part. We had this amazing guy at Chevy that helped us find the part and ordered it for us. And even he talked about things happen for a reason, and you never know. The way things happen might have saved my life. And I didn't look at things that way until he said that. And, it's more people that said things like that throughout the few days that I was without my car. So I started realizing that God is putting it in their heart to tell me it's okay. I'm trying to work things out for you. I am preventing maybe something bad from happening to you. I mean, if I honestly look at it, the oil cap came off when my husband drove the car to go get a part for his car. I would have been driving that car down the hill and the oil cap would have came off. So that was a plus. If I start looking at things in a different perspective, I realize that it is better the way that it happened, And who knows, I could have got a flat tire on the way down the hill. However, I got the flat tire right around the corner from my house. So it's certain things that I'm starting to realize it might look like the worst. It might look like the end of the world, but it is not. And things happen in a certain order for a reason. And I do feel as though God has me. I feel as though He's working in my life. And if this was the devil, all it did was push me closer to Him. That's really honestly how I feel. I feel like it's just brought me closer to God. I've been talking with Byron, and even yesterday he was telling me about how someone brought it to his attention about fasting, and that really resonated with me. This morning I had came to work and I forgot my badge. Now this is the first time I'm driving my car in a while, and I forgot my badge today, but I'm not going to let it hinder my day. I'm not going to let it get to me. There are worse things in this world to be worried about other than a badge or things I can't control. I'm starting to realize these things. I've never been so thankful for the people that I have in my life. My husband, his father, even my coworkers, because they are uplifting and they do open your eyes to things, even strangers. I mean, the guy at Chevy, what he said really resonated with me too. It could be worse. It really can. And I need to remember that. I need to remember that. Today I decided that I'm going to do a no food fast, and I might even carry it on until I feel God tell me, okay, I want to be closer to God. And I think that this whole experience this week has brought me closer. And I just wanted to share that with people, because when you think that things are happening in your life back to back that stresses you out, it could be really for a really good reason. It really can be. And it could be just helping you set yourself on the right path. And it could be maybe just to bring you closer to God. I really honestly feel that's what this has done for me. And I know it might be little to some people, but it has made me realize how grateful I am for people, and that I need to not be so guarded and so independent all the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tiffany, for sharing. I hope your fast went well. I haven't really talked about it with you. Thank you for listening to me when I'm whining about my stuff, and being a friend help pull me up when I'm down. Our next story is from Melanie. Melanie is the young lady who God sent to give me the message that I need to let go and let God. I just realized this whole episode has been people that hold me up, that lift me up. And Melanie is becoming one of those people.
My name is Melanie, and I'd like to talk about how God restores. And there's a song called I Want It All Back by Ty Tribbett, And every time I would sing that song, I really meant it. I wanted everything that the devil took from me. And a lot of what he took from me was during my childhood. And I would often say to God, the devil has taken things from me that I don't even know he took. But I want it back. And I would tell him, I don't know how you're going to do it, but if you don't do it, it'll never be done. So in 2021, my father's wife died unexpectedly. And even though me and my father had never had a close relationship, in my heart, my soul, I couldn't let my father be alone. He had never been alone before. They were married for 25 years. So I just had to be there with my father. I just didn't want him to feel as alone as I know he would feel if I had kept the relationship as it was. I never really called, and things had just always been distant between me and my father. So I stepped it up, went over there. We had outings. We would do lunch, dinner. We would go and sit in the park and just talk. And I remember telling him one time about the book I was writing, which is now in the publisher's hands. It's called Letters to My Mother. He told me, he said, well, I think there's some things that you need to know before you finish writing your book. So he did an interview for me. And man, my father's always been a very quiet man. He didn't talk about his childhood, didn't talk much about his life at all. But during that interview, he laid so much out and cleared so many of my questions in my head. It was absolutely amazing. He explained everything that I ever wondered about. He also told me what he thought of me. And this was a week before he died that we had this conversation. The conversation with what he's told me about myself filled every single void in my heart and in the little girl in me. And in that moment, everything that I was missing, like in the song, I got it all back. Everything that he stole was in my father's mouth. My father looked at me straight in my eyes and told me what he thought of me as his child and what he saw in me as a woman. He told me how much of my mother, who was his first love, he sees in me, and the smile and the look on his face. My father validated me as a woman. And after that, I realized I'm completely unstoppable now. To know that our relationship was, it turned into something I had never had. 50 years old, and it was the first time that me and my father hung out like that, talked like that, laughed together, ate together, ran errands together. I had my father, and it was the most beautiful thing I could ever imagine. God restored everything through my father's mouth. He restored me, and he gave me back everything that I lost from the time that I was 7 years old up until, I lost it when I was a younger child, but he gave me everything that I could imagine that I needed and things that I never even thought were possible. Not only did he restore me, he restored my relationship with my father. He restored my relationship with my younger sister. As my father was in his deathbed, I was able to talk to him, and he said, I love you. And I said, I love you too, Daddy. And his last words to me was, I know, Mel. I never imagined that God would work it out the way that he did, but he did. We serve an amazing God. My name is Melanie. Thank you.
I really appreciate you, Melanie. Thank you. It was emotional for me hearing that story. It just really touched my heart. It's amazing that you were able to rekindle with your father and get that piece of the puzzle that made you feel whole. Once again, thank you for taking that few minutes to talk to me and help me find that last puzzle piece for this podcast. I believe God talking through you to me will help this podcast grow and maybe one day reach the world. That's another episode in the book. I can't wait for my team to come back. It's hard doing this by myself, but thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for listening. See you next month. Thanks again for listening. If you love what we do, please like, review, and share the show. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or directly on our website, miraculouspodcast.com. Today's episode and all music was produced by B Black. Special thanks to the Talking Through the Miraculous team for all of their hard work. We'd like to start a community of people discussing their God experiences. So please follow Talking Through the Miraculous on Facebook or follow us on Instagram at Talking Miraculous. On our website, miraculouspodcast.com, you can find out more about the podcast, contact us with any questions, or submit your own story. You can also share a story via our voicemail at 909-491-3435. That's 909-491-3435. There is a 3-minute limit, but leave as many messages as you need. Finally, if you'd like to become an ongoing supporter of what we do, you can donate to us at cash.app/miraculouspodcast. Any amount can go a long way to support us in our vision. Thanks again, and remember, miracles still happen.